doors. Open the blast doors.
Greetings, music lovers. My name is Sean, and I am the Hi-Fi Jedi. And I want to welcome you to the Jedi Temple tonight. A couple of days ago, I got this amazing copy of the Doors LA Woman on UHQR from Acoustic Sounds and Quality Record Pressings in Salina. And it is absolutely amazing. I put out a video as soon as I got it. I was so excited to get it. This is my first UHQR purchase. I've listened to a few of them, but this is the first thing that they've made that actually hits home to me. That was like, okay, I'll spend 125, 150 bucks on this bad boy because it's something that I love. It's an album that I've listened to many times. I've got my first 71. This is the specialty pressing. It's the SP. This is the specialty pressing. This thing, I've had it for a long time and it sounds great. But I didn't really know what I was missing out on until I listened to the UHQR. So sit back with me. I'm gonna sip on some Java and give you my impressions of what the differences between these two great albums are. So I'm not gonna do what's in this box and how the new box is. You know, it's got the clamshell box, all that stuff. If you want to see that, go over to Acoustic Sounds YouTube page. Chad Kassem did an amazing video. He was so excited. You could tell this is one of his babies, and he goes into what's in it and how it's made and all that stuff. That's not what I'm here to do tonight. I'm basically here just to give you impressions of what I thought of the differences between this new UHQR and the OG. First and foremost, it's super quiet. You know what I mean? When I drop the tone arm on the original, I keep my stuff pretty clean. There's not a lot of pops, sticks, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's a pretty clean record. But the ambient noise that comes out, just the surface noise from the needle riding in the groove, is way more present on the old one than it is. The UHQR is just silent as a church mouse, you know. It just amazes me, you know. It's kind of like the old CD quality, as far as just it doesn't have any noise in the dead wax, in the spaces between the black holes, I call them. There's nothing in there, you know. It's just nice and quiet, and when the record gets down, it's nice and quiet. Big, giant, deep, wide, tall soundstage. I mean, it literally was to the point where, you know, I felt like I was in that little room with them.
Out here in the perimeter, there are no stars.
I'm not going to go in depth onto, you know, how they did this record, but it was, you know, a little self-done studio. This was after, you know, Rothschild left and they got with Bruce and did this record on their own. You know what I mean? It was like getting back to their roots and their garage day type stuff. And they had this little duplex that, you know, Jim would go hang out in, and they had their little practice room and all that stuff. And it was close to a bar, and it was close to a strip club, which was great for Jim, you know what I mean? Because he had to be, you know, amidst his needs and wants and keep them handy. So anyway, they recorded it in this little room. They went out and rented some equipment and brought it in, and then, you know, like hung some blankets up on the wall and just sat down and just did this, you know, and it just really opened them up to being who they really were and getting back to their old ways, and nobody felt like they were pressured, and they just did everything in a couple of takes, and it was just magic, and you can hear that in this, and you've been able to hear it in the old one, but it's just so different, to kind of give you a comparison. So
Out here we is stoned.
my favorite song on this record is Riders. You know what I mean? I love it. I've listened to it 15 million times if I've heard it once, It's just an easy, laid back, just melodic, wrap you up in a blankie kind of experience, And man, I could hear the rain, and I just felt like I was in a storm, and I could hear it rolling at me, you know what I mean? And you could hear the placement of everybody, where they were, and Ray was way heavy on the left, and then there was Jim, and Robbie and John over on this side, and it was just so dimensional. And I just really felt like I was in that room with them, you know what I mean? And it was so awesome. Like I was just one of the dudes that they just invited over from the strip club, probably, to come in and listen to them crank out this album. And all the songs are like that, man. They're just really rich, and just, and I didn't change the volume on my amp when I played from one to the other, and I kind of went in and just I'd play a side from the OG, and then I'd play it over again on the UHQR, and that was just like, oh my God, it was just like night and day. And I did that a couple of times, and then I listened to them both all the way through. And then I just kept listening to the new one over and over and over. And just every time I'd listen to it, there was something new that I would hear that I had never heard before. It's like a new experience, you know what I mean? And it was even stuff like, I've got, the CD, and I even streamed it, to see if there was something that I was missing. And man, they really knocked this one out of the park. I mean, Chad, you and all your guys and everything that you do out there in Salina, I am just in awe. I thank you for the dedication that you put forth and the passion that you have for giving us this great stuff. Because man, the difference between what you gave us on this UHQR and this original is night and day. This still sounds good, but what I found was like, it was almost like I felt like I was inside of an old army tent, big ass canvas green sumbitch that stunk and everything, and I'm sitting there, the band's outside, and I'm in this tent. That's what it felt like. It was just muddled, and there was no mid-range. It was just a little bit of bass pumping and a lot of highs coming at you, and it was more like spherical. It felt like it was coming like this, as opposed to everything just kind of coming at you all at once. And it just, I'm thoroughly impressed. I'll continue to listen to that one. It's been one of my favorite albums for years. And,
Out here we is stoned.
Until I've worn the grooves out on it and buy me another one, it's my player copy. But I'm really going to enjoy this. It is just well worth the money. You know what I mean? If you got a halfway decent enough system and a decent stylus on your turntable and some pretty decent speakers, you're going to hear the difference, man. You know what I mean? And if you love the Doors as much as I do, you're going to find that you're going to want to get you one of these before they're gone. And, you look at the way a lot of these UHQRs are, some of these things that got released, a while back ago are worth a lot of money, and this is going to be one of them. You know what I mean? This is going to be one of those that's definitely going to be worth some money in some years. But I don't ever buy records as an investment. I'm a listener and a music lover, and I hope you feel the same way about it. But just can't say enough. Thank you very much for coming into the Jedi Temple with me today. As always, I got a lot of new records that came in this week. Been some really great Whatnot auctions going on, and I'll do a little short this weekend and kind of show you some of those things. And I'm going to do getting back to the collection series. I did Kraftwerk last time, and I think this next time I'm either going to do Pink Floyd or maybe Can. But one of those is coming up. But I really appreciate you guys coming in to my living room, into my heart, and sharing this experience with me. You know what it's about, man. It's just, this is a time machine. Nothing will take you back to a place in time like a record, you know what I mean? And every time I hear this, I'm gonna think of this weekend and this video and this time in my life and how I really heard this thing for the first time. And I hope you find the same experience, and I hope you get you one so you can see for yourself that this is top quality stuff. Thanks again to Chad and his gang out there in Salina. Man, keep up the good work. And until next time, man, when I can get back and do another one of these videos for you guys, just keep listening and cue it, drop it, and crank it. Peace.
That's right.